Anytime you hear about a video game franchise getting turned into a movie, most people's first reactions are, is that really a good idea? What happens when Netflix says, hey, we want to take a video game franchise and turn it into a series? This sounds like an amazing idea! Netflix has just announced yesterday that they are going to be taking the Witcher franchise and turning it into a Netflix original series. But it's not going to be based off of the games, it's going to be based off of the 8 Witcher books. So I think this is fantastic news, because you can't make a great video game movie based on a game, because a game will take anywhere between 6 to 8 hours, maybe even longer to beat. And a movie only gives you 2 hours to tell that entire story. It just doesn't work out. But with a Netflix series, that's going to give you anywhere between 12 episodes, maybe 16 episodes, so at an hour each. That is how you tell a video game story. So I think The Witcher is a perfect franchise to move over and test in these Netflix waters. I think this is an amazing next step for video games. If this does well, I don't know if I want to see any more video game movies. I might just want to see video game TV series. What other video games need a Netflix original series? I'll tell ya. We're gonna start off with number 5 here on the list, and I'm gonna be very honest, it's number 5 because I don't think it'll ever be done. Injustice. Now, not just Injustice 1 and not just Injustice 2, but there are a lot of comics. They started the Injustice comics just before the first game came out. It actually leads into the first game, but then they never stopped with the comics. So there's all these stories that they kind of allude to in the games, but never really actually show. This could be that chance. DC is actually doing a pretty decent job with their TV shows already, like Flash and Green Arrow and Supergirl, and Legends of Tomorrow, pretty good also. This will just be able to take another multiverse, which they already discussed that in Injustice 2. So you have a new cast, you have these characters, tell us the Injustice story. It would be so amazing. I just don't know if I see DC casting another Batman and another Superman. But let me be clear, they should do it. I can't go through a top 5 list without mentioning this franchise. Let's look at Mass Effect. Yes, please turn this into a series. There's so many great stories in that universe that could be told. But again, do not tell the Shepard story, because that doesn't work. That's my Shepard. I was Shepard. I already saw that story. Give us maybe the First Contact Wars, or maybe something in this new Andromeda universe. There's a lot that we can explore. But I do think that it might be a little difficult to do budget-wise, because there are a lot of aliens and they would need a huge special effects budget to make this show work. If the budget is a little too high for a Mass Effect franchise show on Netflix, what about we actually do another BioWare story, Dragon Age? We've already had a web series starring Felicia Day. I think it would work perfectly in a Netflix original series. So number 4 goes to, you know, Mass Effect or Dragon Age. As long as it has some romance subplots, am I right? Or am I right? Number 3 goes to Final Fantasy. Now, we've tried movies for Final Fantasy and it hasn't really worked. I think you just need more time to really tell a good, thorough Final Fantasy story. Wonder what would be a great idea? Here's why this is awesome. Every season of the Final Fantasy Netflix series is one of the Final Fantasy games. It'd be like American Horror Story. Every season is just another story. We can see Terra, Edgar, and Sabin doing the Final Fantasy 3 story. And then season 2 could be Cloud, Barrett, and Tifa, and do that story with Sephiroth. All of them. Every Final Fantasy Netflix season would be a different Final Fantasy game. Just make that happen. Number 2, we're gonna go with Legend of Zelda. Now, we've had some rumor about seeing a big screen version or even TV show adaptation of Nintendo products in the past, but what if we actually did get a Legend of Zelda Netflix show? Originally, before Breath of the Wild, I would have been like, hey, Legend of Zelda doesn't work. It's a protagonist that doesn't talk. It's just not gonna work for anyone when we hear Link speak. And in Breath of the Wild, though we didn't hear him speak, he did have dialogue boxes and you gotta choose what he said. So he was actually speaking, we just didn't hear him. So I think now would be the perfect time to go ahead and move forward with the Legend of Zelda Netflix series, especially with this new popularity and huge success that was Breath of the Wild. Everyone's playing it, everyone's loving it. Let's put it on Netflix, baby! For number 1, I say we bring Resident Evil to Netflix. Now, a lot of you are probably going to say, hey, we already have Resident Evil movies. To that I say, ugh, those were not Resident Evil to me. That was just some weird action movie with familiar names that we see every once in a while in a movie. I want like a true survival horror TV show starring characters from the game and the franchises, and you can do the stories, they can intertwine, and I'd honestly be okay with rewriting some of the stories to make it fit a Netflix style show structure. Make it more like The Walking Dead. Maybe it's not just Leon and Claire going through the police station and then going down that story and that's what we watch. Maybe it is like the characters kind of intertwining, and maybe Jill and Leon meet up in Raccoon City. I don't know. I think there's a lot of possibility there. With the success of Walking Dead, why not try to make a Resident Evil show? I think it would be perfect. But you guys tell me, would you watch a Resident Evil Netflix show or any of these other shows? But more importantly, let me know in the comments below what video game franchise you'd want to see on Netflix. Witcher's gonna be great, I think, but hey, what other video games can we make it to Netflix? I think this is a fantastic idea and we need to see a lot more of them. So till the next time, guys, I'll see you later. Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. We have a video here on the left that's my Guardians of the Galaxy review and why maybe it's not so perfect. And to the right, I got a video there just for you. Also, if you haven't, don't forget to subscribe. Okay, thanks, bye.